Welcome back to This Week at MBE, and as you can hear, the sound of silence. It's Sunday night, about 10:30. I'm getting ready to go to bed, tired, but as you can see, we had a very productive weekend. The guys that weren't here picked up the shop and everything on Friday to make sure they come in on Monday. Everything is ready to go, so so the place always stays nice. But the big nines that you saw last week, this is all of them. We've run all of these. There's a couple more sets in the back that we ran. So basically these are ready for honing guides and valve job. So there's a bunch of those sets. We have our 10-degree wedge head right here. So we have these for the dirt stuff and the drag racing. So we have 3 different port programs on intake and exhaust for this. And this is a small block Chevy. So compared to most of the dirt stuff that's available and the drag race stuff in a wedge, this port is up higher, especially at the spring pocket, which gives the air just a larger radius, so it flows more air and just makes it more efficient. And then you go over here and we have another set of 10s. So this is with the smaller port. That's the ones that we were just looked at are the drag racing port. This would be the dirt port right here, so not as big. Cross-sectional areas are definitely smaller, and it is surprising how much smaller the ports have to be for a super late model, even though most of them are 440 inches and most drag race engines are 440 cubic inches. Because on dirt, the last place you want to get past is on a restart. So at 3,600 RPM, these have to make grunt. So to make grunt that way, the only thing you can do is shrink the cross-sectional areas in the ports so they'll run down low. So it is surprising how much smaller they have to be though. But we understand that. And then this stuff in line, you can see we got a lot of these that we went through. So moved on from those. Got the just everything. It's really not inventory. Most of these are jobs that are spoken for, that they're either waiting here for soft chambers or they're waiting to be ported, things like that. But you can see there's some 18-degree conventionals right here. So these are just about finished right here. They've already been valve jobbed and everything. They got soft chambers run on them. So my guess is now all we have to do is we'll start working on the manifolds on those, and I believe those are the blower manifold. So you can come in here, those are over here. And if you heard one of our past videos, we talked about Mr. Mears. Mr. Mears made these manifolds for years, decades and decades and decades. Mr. Mears, he passed away, and that's just it just sucks because you're not going to replace Mr. Mears. It's getting harder and harder to do. There's fewer and fewer of us that enjoy this as much as he did or as much as we do. So we can still get the manifolds though. My guess is that his son took over that. I'm hoping he did at least. I'm hoping because his son's a motorhead also. So and plenty knowledgeable himself. So we got 2 of those. The other one came in last week, so now we have both of them. So we'll get going on these. And then just an 18-degree conventional. So this will be for either a truck pull or a drag race application because of the larger manifold on it with the shorter runners. So it'll make a lot of power. A manifold like this, we're not worried about 4,000 RPM because either the truck puller or the drag racer will never see 4,000 RPM, so it doesn't matter. So that's why they plan on volume and stuff like this is the way it is. We use this. M&M makes this. This is an excellent manifold for all of this. We're fortunate that it will fit our heads, but it will not fit an SR20. So we are fortunate that way. You can see we get them without bowl holes, and then we have to do all the extra work. So when we get them, we still have a lot of work to do to it. But the best thing is Scott and all of them at M&M designed a really nice manifold right here, and it's good stuff. Good stuff. We'll come back here. We got a bunch of stuff that's finished. You can see this is getting smaller and smaller. So hopefully by the end of this week, we'll have a lot of this stuff gone through, but we've been knocking through it. So basically, when these come in, this is stuff that either needs to be serviced or repaired. And so all that's, we're getting through on that pretty good, because we did have 2 rows of that, so we're doing pretty good. And then you can see here, these are a set of dark LS 10 degrees that we do, the MBE version, with the logo and everything. So these are in here for repair. You can't tell, but we did repair the cylinder, but you know, these have already been run, but when they leave here, they'll look and they'll run like they were brand new. It won't lose any more power just because it was here for a repair. All the valve heights will be correct. Everything will be back to 0. So those are ready for assembly. And then we have, so all of this, I did pick up a bunch of valves from Victory Friday night. So a lot of this will be getting assembled next week. Probably not as much as we hope, but Dave's going on vacation. So I'm going to guess that Ian's probably going to be doing a lot of this. But if Dave was here, then we'd definitely get more of these finished. But he gets to go on vacations too. It is summertime. But you can see a lot of stuff that's ready to go, ready to go, ready to go, ready to go. So we always try to, basically what we want to do, we want to stay ahead of the valve order. If we can stay ahead of the valve order, when the valves come, then we can put it together and we're not holding anybody up. We're mocking up a valve cover right here for Mooresville. So they sent us all this, and then we're going to make the clearances in it and everything so they can make it for us. And then we have a big 9 here. This is Mitch George. This thing has been hauling ass. I believe they won the they run nitrous in the big 9. They nipped one, nothing bad though. I would say as meticulous as he is, he sent it back. But I'm sure there's a lot of us in competitors that probably would have just ran it like this. So we're just checking everything out here. All this is we still have to clean them, and then we'll finish all the work on them. But that's this week at MBE. Thank you for joining us, and have a good night.